prophecies and conspiracies. Peering into darkness is what we do. Derek and Sharon Gilbert break it all down for you.
Here we are again. Welcome to the program. I'm Derek Gilbert.
I'm Sharon Gilbert. Believe it or not, we are here for day 2 of PID Radio Weekend, I guess.
We did a live on YouTube yesterday, so if you missed that, please go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@GilbertHouse, and make sure you're subscribed, but also hit the bell for notifications, because we tried it as proof of concept. We thought we'd go maybe, 10, 15 minutes, but of course, Gilbert time in relation to real time is like a 6-to-1 ratio. So we went an hour.
We do not know when to stop. We were out in the barn, had a great time. Many of you joined us, and we had a great time answering your questions.
Yeah, it was.
And many of you from all over the world.
It was fun. We heard from Pastor Gary McKibben in Belfast, Northern Ireland. We also had, we had people from, there was somebody checked in from Germany, and of course, people from all over the United States. But anyway, thank you for doing that. And so today, because we covered a lot of stuff yesterday, will be sort of an abbreviated PID radio for today. This is not some secret plan to drive you to our YouTube channel, although if that's the result, well, who are we to complain? But you can also, of course, subscribe, or rather, make sure we never get canceled, shall we say, by downloading our app to your smartphone, tablet, or smart TV or set-top box. We've got links at gilberthouse.org/app or pidradio.com/app.
And we're happy to say that the gilberthouse.org website is now fixed. The security certificate, for whatever reason, wasn't showing as valid.
Yeah, it's because we've got a special firewall on that one, because it was getting hammered by bots from overseas. And I forgot that when you do that, you have to actually upload the security certificate to the firewall as well. So that's the reason for the problem. So thank you to Michael at GoDaddy who talked me through that. I will say that their customer service support at GoDaddy has been has been excellent. Every time I call, get somebody like on the third or fourth ring, and it's like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, we've been very happy with GoDaddy. We know that they host a lot of content and a lot of producers and websites, but so far they've been really good to us. But we are in our house today, not out in the barn, but we will go back into the barn at some point, and you never know when we're going to do a live out there. So as Derek said, smash that notification bell.
Yeah.
You know, another reason we have been... we didn't even start recording this until a few minutes ago, and it's now 10:16, 17.
A little later in the morning than normal. Yeah.
Much later in the morning than normal, is because last night I started watching a recommended show on Netflix, and I know many of you have canceled Netflix, don't like it, but Derek and I, PID Radio means Peering into Darkness, which means that we watch shows that you may not be aware of because they're on content providers that provide content that is disagreeable to Christians. We get that. We also look at things that your kids and grandkids are going to look at that you don't know about and try to report back, like Spies on the Field. Well, I started watching a show called The Burrows. And this morning, I showed the opening to Derek, and he just got pulled in the same way I did.
Yeah, closed my iPad and everything.
Yeah, you hardly ever do that. I know. So we watched together the first entire episode. It is like if M. Night Shyamalan wrote a series, an 8-episode series about a retirement community. It's not a city, it's not a village, but it has a firewall of its own, you might say. And it's also in the shape of Gilgal-Rephaim.
Yeah, or Atlantis.
Concentric
rings around a central...
Concentric rings.
Yeah.
So we're not going to give you too many spoilers, but let's just say I recommended to Derek that he ask the guys from Iron and Myth to watch this.
Yeah, it is. It's got an excellent cast. First of all, Alfred Molina, who's a very accomplished actor. I mean, he's not A-list, but in
You'll
terms of
recognize him.
as far as Hollywood is concerned, you wouldn't see him headlining a movie. But in terms of actors at the top of their game, he is excellent. And let's just say he's in the same age range as Sharon and me, and you may be in the same age range as we are. We are now considered senior citizens.
Old age pensioners.
Old age pensioners if you're in the UK. And it's got a number of other actors like Bill Pullman, who you might
Gina
remember
Davis.
from Independence Day, the film. We will not go quietly into that dark night.
I know.
What a wonderful speech he gave in Independence Day.
I love that speech,
Yeah.
and we're probably going to watch that again next month. Gina
Gina
Davis.
Davis, Alfred Woodard, wonderful black actress
Ed-
that you probably remember from a number of things.
Oh, and yes, she is amazing.
Ed Begley Jr.
Ed Begley Jr. that you've probably seen in many. He's also shows up in The Simpsons in one of their episodes. Great
Gosh,
actor.
well, you say it elsewhere, wasn't it? The film, the series
Yes,
that
the
made
TV
him.
series. Yes. you'll
Yeah,
know
but
him
he's
from-
also showed up in a number of the films produced
Christopher
by Christopher Guest. Best in Show, A Mighty Wind.
Yep, you'll
things like that.
recognize him.
Yeah.
It took me a minute because he also is older and he's playing someone
Right,
who's
right.
deemed crazy.
Yes. So you're seeing a number of cast members. The leading cast are all in their 70s, probably 70s, maybe even early 80s, which is not the kind of cast you would assemble if you were looking for viewers in their 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s.
But it's also produced by the same guys who gave us Stranger Things.
Right, the Duffer Brothers. Yeah. So you've got a supernatural aspect to it, and that's all we'll say about that. And Alfred Molina plays a widower who moves into this place because they had signed a contract. His wife had wanted to move in there, but before moving day, she suffered a heart attack right in front of him and dies, and they won't let him out of the contract. So
yes, we highly recommend at least watch the first episode especially if you are in our age range. Derek has
I'm saying, after the first episode, you will never, ever agree to move into a nursing home or retirement community.
I know Derek and I, because our house is on the market, we've talked, okay, when we sell, if that's what the Lord leads us to, then do we move into his mother's retirement community, which has homes that you can live in independently, much like this, but they also have sort of a senior apartment complex, I guess you'll call it that, where Ed
assisted
Begley
living.
Jr. lives.
Right. And then from there, you can move into the memory care unit.
Yeah.
Kind of, step by step as life goes on.
Well, Molina says it's where you go to die.
At God's waiting room.
God's waiting room.
But
Don't know if that's where we're going to end up.
Yeah. But at least you got people around who understand life the way you do, and you can make friends.
But we are not going to move into the boroughs. I can tell you that right now.
Yes, that looked really, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we highly recommend it. If you have Netflix, it's well worth watching, just to see what it is that we're supposed to believe, especially given that Disclosure Day.
Yes.
Just came out.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to touch on that just a little bit. I know we talked about it on the YouTube Live yesterday, but I've watched last night a bunch of reviews by people who'd seen the film, including Glenn Beck. And what I came away from all of these various perspectives, Glenn looking at it from a supernatural perspective, and others who were looking at it just from the standpoint of filmmaking. And several of them mentioned that there were points in the movie where the audience laughed. And these were not intended to be comic moments.
Oh, that's bad.
Because the main characters, played by Emily Blunt, and I'm going to forget the name of the British actor who, doing an American accent, played the main male lead in the
I
film.
can look it up, but I can't remember who that is.
Yeah. Anyway, he's an up and coming actor who is probably going to be an A-lister here within the next few years. They're trying to evade shadowy government agents who are, pursuing them. It's almost like it was described as the movie's sort of a long chase scene as they're trying to find their way to, because the Emily Blunt character is a TV weather person, meteorologist, and they're trying to make their way back to her television station, I guess, so they can release the secret government files, or the secret files on alien contact that the government has been concealing, or this evil corporation headed up by the character played by Colin Firth, since 1947. So for 80 years, we've been hiding this information, and now they're going to, put it on blast and put it all out there. But the chase scenes, there are a couple of, just very convenient things where they're able to do things and get away, and the audience is like, okay, yeah, that's not plausible, and apparently laughed at that. So Spielberg's lost his fastball, to use a sports metaphor, baseball metaphor, when it comes to filmmaking. Secondly, the mood of the film is almost like it was set in the mid-90s instead of today. Why are they going to a television station to try to release this information, given that anyone with a laptop and Wi-Fi could put it out on 4chan or X, and suddenly it's blasted out across the entire world? Besides the fact that nobody trusts the mainstream media anymore. I mean, it's like I saw one commenter say, anybody under 70 would know. And if you're tech savvy, and make that anyone under 80 would know that if you've got an internet connection and a thumb drive, suddenly, why would you go to a TV station and say, because everybody trusts the news? The sort of a subtext, everybody should trust the news, instead of these fringe alternative news sources like PID Radio.
Yeah.
Or, say, somebody with a bigger platform, Alex Jones or whoever. You can't trust them. You've got to trust accredited news agencies. Like, come on. That is so 20th century. It's like this is it's also a very bloated film. It's 2.5 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and the way it's presented, it's like a very, very long episode of The X-Files.
Even the X-Files, movies
movie.
were, yeah. Those were bloated.
And again, you've got a female lead and a male lead, like Mulder and Scully, or Scully and Mulder, and they're being chased by, the official government agencies, the men in black who are trying to keep them from. But at this point, I mean, the tropes that are out there, the tropes that are included in the film, are essentially the things that we've been hearing about through alternative news outlets, through whistleblowers, through, since 1947. So at this point, you're seeing the film, it's like, okay.
Haven't I seen this film before?
Yeah. And the end of the film is apparently the alien gray just saying to the world, one word, listen. Well, what? Listen.
What?
Listen and obey. Hear, O Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spielberg is Jewish, for goodness sake.
I know. So anyway, it is not getting great reviews. There are some who love the film because, from an artistic standpoint, in the cinematographer that Spielberg used, excellent. The editing, probably fine. Spielberg knows how to craft a film. But this script reportedly went through dozens of rewrites. It's almost like, okay, did the CIA have a consultant on this film? Because we know that they do that.
Oh, yes.
Operation Mockingbird. Yeah. somebody said it's not like Spielberg wrote this film. It's like he was read in and told, this is the story you will tell. We don't know that that's true. Don't know that that's true.
He has been going around and doing a lot of interviews and just appearing at festivals and this event and the opening of an envelope. And when a mic is putting his face, he says, well, I'd like to believe this is true.
Yeah, and I would like everybody else to believe this is true too. Mm-hmm. Well, okay.
Here's your golden ticket, Mr. Spielberg.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Stephen, we're not believing it's true, actually. And I will say again, even though he said that this will cause many to question their faith, and it's pretty clear that this is targeted at Christians. Mm-hmm. If you actually understand Genesis 1, where God said, let us create man in our image, it just means we are his representatives on earth. Mm-hmm. We have been given dominion of earth. We bear his image in that respect. It's like we're carrying his flag onto the field. That's what that means. And the existence of actual extraterrestrials would not change that at all. The fact is, there is no credible evidence to this date of the existence of extraterrestrials on Earth. That's just a fact. Even the whistleblowers who come forth, like David Grush, who some have said that he may have been a consultant on this film. The whistleblower appeared to Congress a couple of years ago, said they heard from a guy who knows a guy who said that they'd recovered alien craft with non-human biologics. So what, monkey? I mean,
yeah.
Non-human biologic doesn't necessarily mean it's not of this earth.
Well, the Russians sent a dog up.
Yeah.
And we've sent up all sorts of creatures.
Yeah. I think the first one we sent up was a chimpanzee. Mm-hmm. But again, people are not asking the logical questions. Even the press conference held earlier this week that included Representative Tim Burchett of Tennessee and our representative Eric Burleson from here in Southwest Missouri, saying that, the 1994 incident in Brazil was confirmed to have happened, but there are those then who put the headline on it said, confirmed craft and aliens recovered in Brazil. That's not what they said. They said that the incident occurred, and some say there were these things that were recovered. Mm-hmm. And read very carefully, because it's almost like lawyers are drafting those press releases. So anyway, the film is out. It's not going to challenge the faith of anyone, and it will not be remembered as Steven Spielberg's magnum opus.
No, sadly, it won't be. I was in the mid. You saw me that I was trying to find something on my phone. My brain was going elsewhere. I was trying to figure out why in the boroughs the address of Molina's house is shown so promptly. Yeah. In big numbers.
Several
1472.
1472, right.
Are we supposed to see, because 72 is allegedly, according to the book of First Enoch, that's the number of watchers.
Well,
oh, wait, no, sorry,
200.
those are the sons. The sons of El are 70 or 72.
Right, when Jesus comes down.
It was 200 watchers, but the sons of El.
Right, 70 sons of El, when Jesus comes down the mountain from Mount Hermon with Peter, James, and John.
Or it was 70.
He sends out 70 or 72 ahead of him into the Galilee.
Right.
Which, again, is very interesting because it's the Galilee. Galilee in kind of overlapped with the ancient kingdom of Bashan. But numerologically speaking, it's a symbol that means all of them. Mm-hmm. And so what Jesus was saying to the fallen realm is that your gods, put that in air quotes, of the nations will not prevail against my 70 or 72 going out into the Galilee, casting out demons and coming back and changing the world by taking the gospel to the world.
Yes. By the way, 70 or 72 is also the number of probably Watcher class angels or something like that who were sent down post-Babel, allegedly, to help mankind. One might say, and there's a lot of belief in tradition, that those who arrived on Mount Hermon were sent with a mission. You guys go down there and help these guys, these poor humans. Help, Adam's family
Yeah.
to adjust to their new life. And then they said, hey, they're pretty.
And
We like
this was the understanding of the early church. When you read the writings of the early church fathers, it was clear that that's what they had been taught.
So post-Babel, it was the same thing.
Right. Yeah. These angels had been, they were intended to shepherd humanity. And instead, they chose to accept worship as deities on their own.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, look, I'm an eternal being. Why can't I be a god? So then you see the result of that in Psalm 82, where God passes judgment on them in the divine council.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, though you are gods, all of you, sons of the Most High, like men you shall die.
Can I take a left turn entirely?
Yes, please.
Unless you were going to say one more thing about
No,
that,
no,
because
no,
you were
I-
looking, waxing philosophic with you.
Yeah, I was just looking, just trying
let's
to
see.
retrieve files from the internal filing system.
When I do that, I look around and go, oh, there are cobwebs up there that I really need to clean down off the ceiling.
And mine are inside my head.
Oh, mine too. I've got filing cabinets that are on fire, just like SpongeBob's. You had mentioned earlier that our good friend Doug Woodward, who has a great 2-volume set about the Septuagint,
Yes.
which gets you back to the about 200 BC understanding of the Old Testament. He's got a book on post-World War II Nazis in the United States.
Descent into Evil is the title.
But he's also doing a video series.
Yeah.
That's what he told you this morning.
Right. Yeah, that is part 1, which is not yet available for the
It
public
is
to
not
view.
yet available. In fact, I've probably told you way more than oh gosh, he's going to come get me now. Oh, Doug, I'm sorry. But I really look forward to seeing it. So when it is out, I cannot wait. But he told you that he was planning to do that. Not yet available, not yet appearing in this film. It's Sir not appearing in
Yes.
this film. But the book, it goes along with what, and you need to read it because it goes along with the second book in your magnum opus, The War of the Watchers,
War of the Watchers.
series.
Yeah. So Descent into Evil, which basically is about how Nazis brought into the United States via the rat lines, which I will get into because Alan Dulles and his brother John Foster Dulles. Alan was director of the CIA during the Eisenhower administration, but had been in intelligence for many years prior to that. John Foster was Secretary of State, and both of them members of the Sullivan and Cromwell law firm in New York, which has got, it's what they call a white shoe law firm, meaning they've got a lot of very high-end clients. They worked with the King of Saudi Arabia during World War II, Ibn Saud, a rogue MI6 agent, Jack Philby, Generalissimo Francisco Franco, the fascist dictator of Spain, and American oilmen. And essentially they had this trade route set up where they were shipping oil from Arabia to Spain, and then Franco was selling it to Germany during World War II.
Because it was, you weren't supposed to be doing that.
Trading with the enemy was illegal, yes. And when our senator from Missouri, Harry S. Truman, who was leading a Senate committee investigating companies that were trading with the Nazis, began to investigate Standard of New Jersey, which is the Rockefellers, he was informed that it'd be a real shame if something happened to that oil y'all needed for your war there, Harry. And so the investigation was dropped. In other words, Standard of New Jersey, the clients of the Dulles brothers, successfully blackmailed the United States government during World War II.
There was a lot of blackmail going on during World War II.
There was. So afterwards, in order to cover up the involvement of their clients during World War II with what they were doing with the Third Reich, Dulles managed to conceal a lot of that, but also helped a lot of the Germans on the other end get out of the country and make their way to places like Australia, South America, and the United States. So Doug is written about that, his book, Descent into Evil, the Nazi Invasion of America After World War II and its continuing impact today. So, yeah, and he's looks like he's going to be doing some videos based on that book, so definitely looking forward to that.
Oh, I hope you can get him on View from the Bunker to talk about the book, because this is an important... Oh, did you?
Months ago.
Oh, well...
Yeah. So that...
Where was I? Was I here? Was that one of the days where I was just sitting and staring at the ceiling and looking at cobwebs?
Looking at the brochures for the boroughs.
Covered in cobwebs.
So we'll definitely have to...
Miss What's-Her-Name from the Dickens novel.
Haversham? Miss Havisham, yeah. One last thing, and this is sort of a kind of a... Gosh, there's so many things. We could do a full hour here easy.
I know we could. Well, but, it's only 10, not quite 10:40. I guess we've got a little bit of time.
Things are getting really heated in the United Kingdom because of a couple of crimes there that took place. And we're going to be delicate about the way we describe these so we don't get deplatformed.
We have to be careful. Yeah. It's just the truth of being on Mars Hill.
There was the tragic death of Henry Novak, an 18-year-old student who was killed by a Sikh, whose name I'm going to forget now, Vikram, and I forget the last name. Anyway, stabbed with an 8-inch blade that was supposedly, or at least they ostensibly, part of the Sikh religion. They're allowed to carry these ceremonial blades, although I think the blade... I think
they can wear them.
Wear them around their neck. But the blade that he stabbed him with is not that. It was an 8-inch blade that was used in the Middle Ages to punch through armor. So
right.
The British police, who had been called to the scene after Novak had been stabbed, basically believed the perpetrator of the crime, who's since been found guilty of murder and sentenced to a very lengthy term in prison, thankfully. But Novak was bleeding out while he was telling police, I've been stabbed. 8 times he said, I've been stabbed and I can't breathe. And the response of the officer was, I don't think you have, mate. Because Novak was accused of using a racist slur, and so the police...
He was handcuffed
him, dragged him across the ground, handcuffed him while he bled out. And so the police are catching a lot of flack for that. But then this past week there was the horrific attempted attack, let's put it that way. Yeah. Where a Sudanese migrant who had used a back door, which I do not understand why the United Kingdom allows this. Northern Ireland, because of the troubles of the last 50, 60 years, last century, they have a very, very loose border controls with the Republic of Ireland. And because Ireland proper is part of the EU.
Right, the Republic of Ireland.
Republic of Ireland. Migrants who get into the EU can then travel from country to country without any difficulties. And so this particular Sudanese migrant got into the EU, flew to Dublin, and then took a bus to Belfast. And then he claimed asylum in the United Kingdom because Northern Ireland is part of the UK.
And it was granted.
It was granted back in 2023. They gave him, what do they call it, indefinite leave to stay or whatever they call it. Well, this past week he attempted to decapitate a 46-year-old man with some challenges. He's hearing impaired, apparently mildly cognitively impaired, described by neighbors. His name is Stephen Ogilvie, the victim, who was described as the kind of guy who would do anything for you.
Right. If you are on X, just type in Stephen Ogilvie. You will see lots and lots of posts about it over the last few days.
Yeah.
Again, we can't go into everything. And in fact, you even said a word that might get it.
Yeah.
He was attempting to unalive the man.
He was. Ogilvie's suffering from horrific injuries.
Lost an eye.
Lost an eye. He may be blind in the other. So, and this has been this appears to be the last straw for many people in the UK, because protests began in Belfast the following day after the video went viral.
Oh, continue. I just wanted to add something when you're done.
Other cities across the UK have likewise now, because of the attacks on Novak and Ogilvy by people who have been allowed into the country. I assume the Sikh family was, entered legally, but, legal. However they got in. They are non-native, let's say, Anglo-Saxons. Right.
You were probably going to mention this, but I wanted to make sure it did get mentioned. Yesterday, a 17-year-old girl in Burnley, in the UK, in England, was attacked, and it was unprovoked. She'd done nothing. The man just came up behind her and used a knife, a blade, to attack her. It was also recorded, so there is a video of it. Yeah. He has been now arrested and identified. He was born in the UK, but he is of Pakistani descent. Now, there are Pakistani people in this world who are wonderful. There are others who are not. Just like there are wonderful anybody. It's human. It's the truth about human sin. Yeah. But some are raised in a belief system that implies that they have a right to take the lives of others who are not part of their club. So this happened. Now, you mentioned, why on earth would he get into the Republic of Ireland just because this person got into any of the EU? That's just the EU rules. You get into one, you get into all. Right. I believe that this is why, post-Brexit, that those who didn't want Brexit, which is most politicians, it was the country that wanted it. Yeah, most politicians did not. They've pretended it never happened. And if you get into France, they will let you in England. Yeah, yeah. And if you don't want to try the small boat route, which apparently this particular gentleman did not, you can get in, take a plane to Belfast, then just ride the bus up to Dublin, rather, and then take the bus up to Belfast. Easy peasy. Yeah, the gentleman charged with in the attack. His name is Hadi Alodi. He was. It's been reported today now that he was a police officer in Khartoum, Sudan. He was a cop. And he behaved this way as a cop? Well, I don't know if he behaved that way as a cop, but he's behaving this way as an ex-cop. You have to ask the question of why he wanted to go to the EU if he had a successful job in Sudan. Do not know, perhaps because Sudan is just not a good place to live these days. But here's the thing. While this is going on, and again, the protests across the UK are becoming rather kinetic. This began, I think the video went viral around Tuesday, but the attack took place last Sunday night. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, June 12th, the Migrant Pact went into effect for the EU, which is an immigration agreement that is being described by the European Union officials as burden sharing. This would allow nations like Germany and France that have taken in a lot of asylum seekers, because then they can, especially once they get to France, they can get on a small boat, pay an Albanian gang to shuttle them across the channel, because the Brits are not deploying the Navy. They're just, Coast Guard. Their version of the Coast Guard is just, okay, we'll escort you in so you get over here safely. This is a way for Germany and France to push asylum seekers onto Central and Eastern European countries that have been resistant to migration. So Poland, Hungary, here, you're going to have to take these. If you don't, there could be a fine of 21,000 euros per migrant per day. It's a money-making deal. Levied against the Poles, the Hungarians, the Czechs. It sounds like blackmail.
It is.
Or coercion of some kind.
Coercion, right. 21,000 euros per migrant, perhaps not per day, but 21,000 per migrant that they refuse to take. But, I mean, so many migrants there. You're talking this could potentially cost countries like Poland and Hungary hundreds of millions of euros.
Now, I could put on my tinfoil hat and talk about the replacement theory.
The Great Replacement,
Yeah. I've seen documents that seem to imply that it actually has been an idea put forth by certain organizations within, they're in a tall building in New York.
United Nations.
Yeah, those guys.
Yep. No, I think that's absolutely correct.
What do they gain by doing that?
I don't know.
You know, if you think about it, think about it this way. The United Nations is they are funded primarily by the G7 nations.
Yeah.
They are composed primarily of third world nations. So they're trying to move the third world into the G7 nations. So how are the G7 nations then going to have the money to support the UN?
I can think of two potential reasons, but neither really
There's no logic
makes
here.
a lot of sense. One is the birth rates in the Northern Hemisphere, especially among Slavic and European populations. So basically, from Russia to North America, we're not having enough babies to even maintain a stable population, much less grow. And it's impossible to for the GDP to grow if the population is shrinking, because you have fewer people spending money. It's just simple math. So
I'm sorry. I'll tell you why I laughed so hard in a second.
No, go ahead, because I think it's
I'm
relevant.
laughing because they're not contributing. They are actually taking the money.
Exactly, yes, especially in the UK. They're just getting free money. But if you count, as under Keynesian economics, if you count government spending as part of GDP, well, there you go. And eventually those people will have to start, the theory is anyway, at some point they'll have to start working to do something. But if they're coming from a worldview or a religion that says they just have the right to take and not contribute, which has typically been the case with, say, the Ottoman Empire. It thrived as long as there were enough Christians paying the jizya tax and Jews to pay the jizya tax to keep the empire afloat. And at some point you run out of Christians because you're killing them and you're taking their sons and turning them into janissaries.
And then they start to rebel. So you get guys like Vlad the Impaler and Eastern
Jan
European.
Hunyadi and
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. So that explanation doesn't seem to hold any water. The other explanation is here in the United States anyway. If you bring a lot of migrants in and you count them in the census, then red states that are shedding residents, like California, people are fleeing California because
Blue states.
blue states, excuse me. I still think of red as communist. And
Well, here's the thing.
Anyway.
It's the opposite in the UK. The Conservatives are blue.
Yeah.
And the Labour is red. It's weird.
I remember during the Clinton years when they came up with that color scheme, it's like, who invented this? This is backwards.
Yeah, but we always call the commies pinkos.
Well,
They're not
okay.
red. They were pinkos.
But
not quite red.
no, I mean, I remember the old phrase, though, I heard from my dad, better dead than red, because the red
I know.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Makes no sense. Anyways, people are fleeing states like New York, California, and Illinois for states like Texas, Florida, even here in the central U.S., to a lesser degree, Missouri, Indiana, they're gaining population as people get out of the states where taxes are high and laws are stupid. So if you can count illegal migrants in the census, you're not going to lose representation in Congress, and you can keep a majority of Democrats in Congress. The Trump administration is trying to undo that and say, look, we're not going to count illegals anymore.
In fact, the wall is nearly built, isn't it?
And yeah, there was a report this week that the wall is going to be complete fairly soon. I remember
July
if it's
4th?
I don't know. Not that soon, but either by the end of this year or early next, I think. So all the way from San Diego to the Gulf of America.
Aw.
Yeah.
You can't sing that song anymore. Gulf of Mexico. No, okay, it doesn't rhyme.
So anyway,
logically though, getting back to the UN, if you were going to look at the problem logically, which of course Keynesian economics does not, it would be, hey, let's take G7 nations, let's all get together and find a way to lend a helping hand to the third world and lift them up into developing and eventually first world status.
Yeah, you would think so.
But no, we can't plunder them if we do that.
And I think looking at this from a spiritual perspective,
That's
supernatural
the only way it
perspective,
makes sense.
even though Europe has become mostly secular, you find pockets of committed, actual Bible-believing Christians here and there. And I did see a story yesterday of a rally in the Netherlands, of 60,000 Christians getting together and having a big rally.
That's wonderful.
Which in a mainly secular nation like the Netherlands is really remarkable. But it is still, Europe and North America is still the last bastion, and especially the United States, sort of the last bastion of Bible-believing Christianity. I will say that parts of Africa are really on fire for Christ. Mm-hmm. And we're getting very close to the point, if we're not there already, where Africa needs to send missionaries here.
Yeah, I think they actually are already.
But if you look at it that way, the influx of migrants from predominantly Muslim nations into Europe and North America is to overwhelm the last remaining redoubts of Christianity.
Mm-hmm. I think you're actually right.
And I think that's the spiritual. That's the spiritual reason behind what's going on.
That's the replacement theory in the spirit realm. Yeah,
and I think it makes more sense than the other explanations, economic or political. All right.
I think we're very close to the return of Christ. I really do, and the Holy Spirit is calling people, those who the Lord has known before He even spoke anything into existence, that you would be listening to this now, that you would have accepted Him or have accepted Him already, that the Lord has always known exactly who would say yes to the calling of the Holy Spirit. That's why you can talk about the elect. They weren't elected according to what we think. They were not chosen as the way we think. It's that God foreknew that you would accept Him. That's the only way that makes any sense to me. The Holy Spirit is now speaking to everybody. And I was always taught, and I think there's something to this, that there is a finite number that the Lord has always known in the body of Christ. And when that last person says yes, it's time. Yeah,
I agree. I think we're getting close to that number.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end is near, but that is not a reason for despair. It just means we should look up.
Amen to that.
Not to see the mothership coming in, but to see Jesus at the head of the heavenly host. And there are those who are going to say, well, yeah, Jesus is coming back in a spaceship. I've had some interactions on social media with a guy who's...
He's really not. If you believe He's coming back, then your belief in that is, one would think, on the Bible, so read it again.
Yeah, exactly. It's... The idea that the gods of the ancient world, including Yahweh and Jesus of Nazareth, are aliens that's just a cult. That's a cultism that comes right out of Madame Helena Blavatsky.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
It's warmed over theosophy is what it is.
Left turn entirely before we leave, and that is last Sunday we did not have a Gilbert House fellowship. And the reason for that was because we were on the phone with Joe Horn for well over 2 hours. Yeah. Well over 2 hours. And we then prayed after we talked with Joe Horn. We could not tell you then what was going on, but Joe, of course, the next day released a video asking for your prayers and for those who could help out to donate to Skywatch TV, because Skywatch TV is the income stream that provides free camping for all
Facilities,
of the
yeah.
facilities for Whispering Ponies Ranch attendees, those kids that go there every spring.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, the organizations who bring the kids are charged for
Right.
that purpose, and sometimes it's as much as $1,000 per child. Tom Horn said early on, we are not charging 1 penny for these kids, not one.
Yeah.
And they get better food than Derek and I get, on a given day. They get gourmet, great food. Fresh fruit, really top-notch meat and vegetables. Catherine Horn, she's in there cooking, and she's an amazing
She does
cook.
an amazing job.
Oh, she does. So many people in there providing clean water, great facilities, opportunities to overcome fear, because a lot of these kids arrive and they're scared. Not of just being when I went to church camp as a kid, my very first time, I was kind of scared that first day.
Yeah.
And it's not that kind of scared. These are kids that are scared all the time.
Because they've been traumatized.
They're scared
Right.
of adults
Right. Adults.
who have hurt them.
Yeah. There are many foster parents who do this out of love for children and are wonderful. But the fact remains,
Some don't.
statistically, children in foster care are in the system because their parents are not capable of taking care of them, or may not even be in the picture anymore because
Right.
they are incarcerated. And children in the system are at far greater risk of being trafficked, of turning to prostitution, of doing drugs, getting involved in gangs.
Or becoming so desperate they
Yeah.
themselves try to unalive themselves.
Right. Their lifespans are significantly shorter. And through the encounters they have with Christ at Whispering Ponies Ranch, through wonderful ministries like For the Children, Royal Family Kids, Teen Reach, they see that there are adults who don't want anything from children but to love them and protect them, to encourage them. And, what Sharon has said, opportunities to overcome fear, like riding the zip line, and the encouragement that they get. Many of these children have never been told that they're worth anything.
No, they are told that every day, every minute. There's a climbing wall, there's
Yes.
an indoor pool, and the indoor pool is there because when these kids are in swimsuits, we're talking about kids that a young lady or even a boy in a swimsuit, there are certain adults that would look at that and want to do them harm simply because they're in a swimsuit. We'll
And-
just say that.
Yeah, and the property is secured. You
Yes.
cannot get through the gate. Somebody who really wanted to could, hop
Right.
over, or run. But
Yes, so they wouldn't be able to see them because they're enclosed.
Right.
And the last night, there's a big, it's like a prom.
yeah, they've got a dress up where they provide
Beautiful
dresses for the young ladies, and the young men are
Wear great suits.
wearing little suits, and it's every child is given a birthday party. Some of these kids have never had a birthday party.
Yeah, Tom Horn, when he used to talk about the experience of, and he loved, this was his favorite part of ministry.
Oh yeah.
He would often weep because there were times that these kids would say or do things that really touched his
Oh
heart.
gosh, this story he told about the little kid looking at they got
fruit.
a little like salad bar area with a big bowl of fruit with oranges and bananas and grapes and apples.
That we take for granted.
Yeah, you just go to the grocery store. What's the big deal? There's a whole big line of stuff that you normally walk past to get to the candy bar section. But these kids, he's looking at this, and this boy just wide-eyed said, "I'm eating like a king," and Tom had to leave the room.
Because he started crying.
Yeah. And another time, when a little boy, aged 9, because Tom had been there, and he loved taking them. They would teach the kids how to drive the little carts being pulled by the miniature horses. And this little boy asked him, "Are you God?" And Tom said, "No, he just lets me work here."
Oh, gosh, what a beautiful response. What a beautiful response.
Yeah.
And I know that Tom is watching what's going on now. The fact is that Whispering Ponies Ranch, the budget for it was just really going into the red zone very quickly.
There was a question whether the 8 weeks of camps had enough funds to survive. This was the call that we were talking,
Right.
we had with Joe this past week.
And the truth is
And
that
the board of-
people all over they're in economic
Yeah,
trouble in many cases. And so that's why people cannot give as much.
right.
We get that.
And we had a very kind of serious board meeting. I'm on the board of directors for Skywatch TV and have been
So-
since it started.
Trying to find ways to cut costs
Yeah.
so that Skywatch would be able to donate what the ranch needed to get through this summer. And Joe put out a video saying he really needed help. He really, really needed help.
Yep.
Well, yesterday he released a video saying miracles have happened,
Yep.
that you guys stepped up and gave them enough to get through this season. So we know every child who's coming is going to be able to be there. And no, Whispering Pony, because it was never an idea that we'll start charging.
No,
That was never it.
no. And the one thing I told Joe, and I said again at the board meeting on Monday, the day after that phone call, was that whatever happens, I know God will not abandon these children, and He did not.
He did not. But I
And
will.
I also want to shout out to a couple of friends of the ministry.
If we've got permission to do that.
Well, yeah, you're right. Rather than without having explicit permission to say so,
Okay.
we'll let that slide.
But I do want to
I
add.
will say that there are other ministries that have stepped up
Yes.
and have helped
And have
support
helped.
through donations.
By the way, I do want to just add this. The budget has been that oil and the flour have been filled up to get the ministry through
Yep.
this camping season. But then next year is going to come along, and the horses have to feed all year, and maintenance have to happen all year. There are a lot of costs that are not directly from the camping.
Right.
It's other stuff. You've got to have somebody who's going to roll hay. There are a lot of things that take
Insurance.
place. Yeah, exactly. Oh, the insurance is crazy expensive.
Yep.
So we ask if you have it, and if the Lord has laid it on your heart to sponsor a pony or just give a one-time donation, you can call the Skywatch TV store and ask them, how can I help? SkywatchTVstore.com
Right.
will give you the phone number where you can call.
Contact
you can email
information is
them.
there, right.
You can send a message to Joe Horn on Messenger. You can tag him in a message on Facebook and say, hey, I want to talk to you about donating. I know that you will. This is such a worthy cause.
It is. It's the reason that we moved here to Missouri. We never had any aspiration to be famous and go on TV.
No.
But we have, it's like Liam Neeson in that series of movies he did, Taken. I have a unique skill set, which basically is talking into a microphone, talking into a camera. And we've been able to use that for this mission, which is to provide for Whispering Ponies Ranch. And this year, just because of the economy, because of just, things, giving has dropped off. And people responded to Joe's, his appeal for help. And if you were one of them, then God bless you and thank you. We also had to make some hard decisions at Skywatch TV regarding broadcasting going forward.
Yeah, I'm sure that Joe will release more videos and explain all of that. That's not
Yeah.
our position to do. But if you are interested, as I said, you can contact Joe through many ways. If you could also send us an email, info@gilberthouse.org.
Yeah, we'll be happy to direct that to where it needs to go. In fact, I've done that a couple of times this week already. People who saw Joe's video appeal wanted to know how they could support the...
You can also send a check to P.O. Box 5, Crane, Missouri, 65633.
Correct, yeah. P.O. Box 5, that is the Skywatch TV mail box, and in Crane, P.O. Box 5, Crane, Missouri, 65633.
Right. Just make the check out to Skywatch TV.
Right. Yeah, the way it works, well, I don't need to get into the logistics, but that would be the way to do it, to make sure that the donations are applied to where they need to go.
Yeah, it's just the way the whole LLC was set up, is that the money has to go to Skywatch TV, and then it is given to Whispering Ponies Ranch.
Right. It is essentially the facility, Whispering Ponies Ranch, which is a separate legal entity, is rented by Skywatch TV for the camps.
Right.
So if you give it to Skywatch TV, that's the nonprofit. WPR is a for-profit, so you cannot deduct that from your taxes.
Exactly. So give it to Skywatch TV. And if you have any doubt, you can contact Skywatch TV at skywatchtvstore.com.
Yeah. So anyway, well, that's I'm glad you brought that up because that is key to why we're here and what we've been doing here for the last 11 years.
It is.
And we are thankful that you've been following us along for 21 years now, as we we are digging into the archives to bring you programs that you may have missed if you've only discovered us in the last 5, 10, 15 years. There are things that we've got that we've saved, thankfully, going back 21 years. So we're doing those on Throwback Thursdays for PID Radio, Way Back Wednesdays for A View from the Bunker.
Still don't have Flashback Fridays for Sci Fridays.
No, I'm trying to find ways of...
And I'm not trying to push you on that, because I know your hours in the day that you can work, because you tire more easily.
Yeah, very true.
And this is where we get into the OG report. We've got time for that.
Yeah, really not much to report this week, except that the insurance company denied the neurologist's...
Cue the big red stamp that comes, denied!
Yeah, the my neurologist once again put in an order for intravenous immunoglobulin, which is the treatment that he is recommended,
treatment.
Right, for CIDP. That's essentially an infusion of antibodies from donors that would reset my immune system so it stops attacking my nerves and my muscles. So the insurance company approved a 3-month course of prednisone, which is a corticosteroid, which in about half the people who go through that treatment, if it's done early on, can be effective. In my case, it has not been effective, and my symptoms have continued to degrade. So my doctor said, look, we're 6 weeks into this 12-week protocol. His symptoms are getting worse. Can we just skip the last 6, go right to the infusions? And the insurance company said no. So anyway, 6 more weeks of this, and then we'll, I hope, and pray, get on to the infusion therapy.
You know, it will be exactly what the Lord wants it to be,
Yep.
and for that reason, it will be exactly right.
Yeah. And then we will hopefully have enough time between then and our new tour dates for the Israel tour.
Yes, brand new dates.
2027, we've decided to move the tour from October of 26 to November of 27. The dates be October 25th through November 6th of 2027 with an optional 3-day extension to Jordan. The renewal of hostilities with Iran, although President Trump is promising again, we've almost got a deal. Apparently, the framework of the Memorandum of Understanding has been agreed to, with technical details to be negotiated in the weeks ahead, which basically means we'll probably be back to square one.
Which to me actually means the memorandum is not really set in stone.
No.
It's, we decided we're going to have one, and now let's bicker over, items.
What's actually in it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that has understandably made some people nervous about the security issues. And with the economy the way it is, again,
Airline
we're
tickets
hoping,
are expensive.
Yeah, because jet fuel has really spiked. We had changed some flights that we needed to schedule for this year, and there was there was a difference in the price on the rescheduled flights.
A big difference.
Yeah, quite a big difference. So hopefully by next October, things will have settled down. The economy will be better. Jet fuel will be more expensive, and with more than a year of infusions, my symptoms will be better. So hopefully I'll have better stamina, better
Did you
physical
say jet
capabilities.
fuel will be more expensive next year?
Less.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
that's
I
what-
think
was
you
going
said
for
more.
less. Less
Yeah.
is what I was going for.
It will be less. We're all praying for less.
You heard less. If anyone says you heard anything other than the word less,
You saw the planet Venus.
yeah. So that's the reason. But you get the latest information at gilberthouse.org/travel. Our streaming video site, gilberthouse.org/video, that should be wrapped up by Monday. It should be ended by the 15th. That was when the last day of the pay period. We have moved all of our presentation videos over to YouTube, so you can find those at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@GilbertHouse, if you want to see conference presentations going back 10 years in some cases on various topics, everything from, the UFO phenomenon and why it's really a cult, to
AI?
Jack the Ripper, AI, and
Maybe Jack the
various
Ripper
other
was
things.
AI.
Yeah.
Just went back in time.
I've got to get our tour videos from Israel uploaded there. I will also get the 13-part teaching series on the second coming of Saturn
That's such
uploaded
a
there
good
soon.
series. I'm so glad you're going to upload that.
Yeah, so all of that will be at YouTube and available for free within the next few days.
By the way, also, if you haven't already subscribed to our Substacks, please do so, because Derek is putting content there pretty regularly. As
7 days a week?
Well, hey, you're a whole lot better than I am. I only put a couple of times a week, so maybe I need to up my game.
Well, I'm mining a lot of our older content, again, for way back Wednesdays, throwback Thursdays, and then, let's see, this week we will conclude The Gates of Hell, the last couple of sections of The Gates of Hell. And then starting next week, we'll begin putting out on Substack, gilberthouse.substack.com, excerpts from our book Veneration.
I see. Oh, great.
By the time we get done with that, then the War of the Watchers should be out, and we could start, maybe releasing excerpts from that.
Well, now tell me how they do it at Substack. It's mything.substack.com or?
Yeah, SharonKGilbert.substack.com.
Okay, so...
And that's just the letter K, SharonKGilbert.com.
Which, oddly enough, does stand for K. My middle name is K-A-Y, but it's just Sharon, the letter K, Gilbert at Substack. Substack?
Yeah, .substack.com.
Yeah, I'm still figuring that out. I always want to just give me an easy one, but if you just search for at Sharon K. Gilbert at Substack, I imagine you'll find me.
Yeah.
The name of my publishing account, my publication, is called Mind of a Writer. Welcome to the Mind of a Writer, just like my old website, which I hardly ever visit anymore.
We
because
probably
websites
should
are
just...
becoming... No, I need to hang on
Passé.
to those because you don't want somebody else to get them. But
hang on to it, but just then have the URL forward directly to the Substack. And
That's
that way
brilliant.
that way you don't have to maintain a website.
I love it. I vote for that. I vote for that one. But I've been releasing chapters from my novels, so if you go there. By the way, thank you to those of you who let me know that I had somehow missed chapter 13 of Blood Lies. Here's the thing. The chapters are coming from the final manuscript that I sent to Kevin G. Summers, wonderful man. He's also a dairy farmer and a writer and a brilliant layout person. He also does, what's the name of his graphic novel?
Oh, gosh.
Not graphic novel, but graphic magazine.
Literary Outlaw.
Literary Outlaw. And
Yeah, published one of my short stories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin G. Summers, he's the guy. It's the file that I sent to him. And he had noticed that I had misnumbered some of my chapters. So he fixed it. But the PDF that he sent back to me, I'm not able to cut and paste from
Right,
that.
yeah.
I only I can do it in my Word program. So I went into there. I thought, oh yeah, that's right. I had those chapter numbers things. But anyway, chapter 13 is now there, and I also released chapter 14.
Okay, well, so those are available now. SharonKGilbert.substack.com, and all of our content. I've been putting out PID Radio, View from the Bunker, our weekly Bible study at gilberthouse.substack.com, along with the Way Back Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, the excerpts from our books. Mondays will be now the Just 5 Things.
And the publication you do is called Giants, Gods, and Dragons.
Yes, yeah, they gave that the title because that seemed
Yep.
seemed a little more compelling for people who've never heard of us than Gilbert House Ministries, which would maybe be a little more accurate, but, hey, you got to draw some eyes in from outside the choir, and that's our hope.
Well, there you go. So anyway, thank you very much for listening, and, well, we actually did go an hour.
We did, yeah.
We don't know when to stop.
Gilbert time. As I said.
David Inslee used to talk about that. Okay, we'll be talking for 15 minutes today.
That means an hour, yeah. He's right. I said that I was listening back to the interview we did, the very first interview we did after we changed the name of the podcast.
Oh, from
Myth-Arc Radio to PID Radio. It was with Guy Malone in Roswell, New Mexico in June of 2005.
Oh, my goodness.
That's going to be this coming week's Throwback Thursday.
Our
very
favorite
timely.
guy.
Yep. Very timely with the release of Disclosure Day and the upcoming Christian Symposium on UFOs and alien abductions, July 2nd, which will be streamed live on our YouTube channel. We had talked about, maybe we should just rename our channel Dan Blather. For some reason, we were talking about Katie Couric, who'd been hired to replace Dan Rather.
We probably did. And one of my favorites to this day is when Tom Horn told us that he nearly drove off the road listening to our podcast because he thought I had said, or you had said, you'd left the R.
Out of peering into darkness.
Yeah, so just take that R off of peer, and that's what Tom heard, and he about drove off the road.
The funny thing is, as my hands have become less capable, as the neurological issues have progressed in my hands, I use speech to text a lot. Mm-hmm. I cannot get the speech to text. Siri inside the iOS will not recognize peering as a word. It leaves the R out. So every time I say peering into darkness,
you think of Tom Horn.
I think of Tom Horn.
I love that.
I have to go back and physically correct it.
That's so funny. Well, at least you're not using Seraphim.
That's it.
That's the AI in the Burrows.
The Burrows, yes. Seraphim, again.
Mm-hmm.
Supernatural things. So we're going to go back as soon as we're done here and watch episodes 2 and perhaps 3.
And maybe have some vegetable beef soup.
Sounds like a good idea. Well, hope you're having a wonderful day. Join us tomorrow for our Gilbert House Fellowship Bible study. And tomorrow night, it's just View from the Bunker, me in the big red chair. No guest, just me in the big red chair.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So, till next time, I'm Derek Gilbert.
I'm Sharon Gilbert. We love you guys so much. Bye-bye, everybody.
PID Radio is on the air. Politics, prophecies, and conspiracy. Peering into darkness is what we do. Derek and Sharon